continue on. Let's talk some football.
Hump week, Matty. Hump week. We're halfway home.
We are.
We're halfway from home, too.
Some teams are and some teams aren't. Some teams have got a long way to go. Some teams like we got 3 perfect teams, but before we go into those, we had more perfect teams. We had, 5?
We had 5.
And one of them was the Cheeseheads.
Cheeseheads.
You know, I often come home, put a slice of cheddar on the head, watch the Packers. But I got to admit, if you're a Packers fan recently, you're not going to have liked the last 2 performances. What happened?
Man, oh man. Aaron Rodgers has looked stagnant. I think they're finally feeling the Jordy Nelson loss. Their offense is just getting shut down. Mind you, they have been playing good teams. Also, their defense is, I think all season it's been pretty lackluster, don't you?
I think the defense has been lackluster for years. I don't even know why we're surprised, but I am not surprised with this anyway. We get tricked every year by the Packers.
A-Rod
every
trickery.
single year because they have arguably the best quarterback in the game. Okay, but if you look at the teams that they have played so far, okay, you got Seahawks. The Seahawks aren't that great right now, especially not at the beginning of the season. The Bears, the Chiefs, the Niners. I mean, these are almost swear words. What I'm saying right now, they're so awful. The Rams, the Chargers. Chargers can only do one thing.
Watch your mouth, Matty. These are terrible words.
Okay. And then the Broncos and the Panthers, and they lost both of those games. So are they really not? They're really not that good.
No.
They're just not that good.
They have the 5th worst run defense in the whole NFL.
And that's probably an improvement.
They allow a ton of yards. They allow a ton of yards through the air too. It's ugly all around.
I saw the other day that Clay Matthews came out of the game for 1 snap. Okay? And there was first and 10, they did nothing. Second and 10, they did nothing. Third down, Clay Matthews comes out of the game, gets hurt, and it was a good 15-yard completion. And then Clay Matthews comes back in, shuts them, they go another 3 and out, and they're off the field. Like, you can't rely that much on one guy.
It's.
I don't like him. Packers.
Okay, Packers are off.
They're gonna make the playoffs.
Let's talk about some undefeated teams here. I want to pose you a question first.
Okay.
There's 3 undefeated teams right now. What do they all have in common aside
undefeated.
for an undefeated record?
Oof. That's a tough question.
I'll tell you. They're all cats. You got Carolina, they're the Panthers. Cincinnati, they're the Bengals. And New England, they're the Cheetahs.
I was laughing for a little bit. That last was awful.
I got you there,
awful.
didn't I? The Cheetahs.
It was awful. I didn't even think that was where you're going with it.
I did.
But I like
Surprised
that.
you. Okay, so I think
Let's talk about
the Patriots, we kind of expected them to be there. I think they're going to be 16-0 this year. I said that before the season. But the Panthers and Bengals, I don't think anyone expected them to be undefeated at this point. Did you?
No, never. Especially not now.
Are they for real? Both teams.
Yes.
Let's go through them. Panthers, for real?
Ooh. Panthers. Yeah, they're for real. And I'll tell you why. They have a top half of the league defense in every category. Okay? The defense is playing lights out, has done. But I was surprised to find out Cam Newton is actually having the worst year of his career so far.
Scram's struggling.
And they're still unbeaten. He's not going to play that bad the whole time. If Cam gets hot, this thing could just explode.
A hot Cam Newton is a top 5 quarterback in this league.
Cold Cam Newton is probably a top 8 quarterback in this league still.
They're doing this whole undefeated record without their top wideout too, in Kelvin Benjamin. It's very impressive, and I think kind of not really bold prediction. I think they're winning the NFC this year.
I'm gonna use my bold pick of the day. Carolina Panthers are going 15-1. I looked at their remaining schedule.
Wow.
They only have 2 remote challenges, in my opinion. They play the Falcons. Falcons aren't hot anymore. They only have 2 challenges now. Dallas, and that's if they get Romo back, in regards to playing anybody in the Dallas area at that position, or the Saints, who on the day can show up, and on the other day they get lost in their jerseys. So I honestly think that they'll probably lose one of those, but they're going for 15-1.
Pretty favorable schedule. Gotta give them that.
They do.
They're also currently on a 12-game regular season winning streak dating back to last season. This isn't just a this season wonder. They're a pretty dynamic team.
They're hot.
Let's
Funchess, friend of the show.
Funchess, friend of you. Let's cross the conference territory and go over to the AFC. Bengals, they for real?
Yeah.
Is my fellow
They're always
Andy for real?
in the regular season? They're gonna do what they. I mean, You know, I was saying Cam's having the worst season of his career. This is complete opposite with Andy Dalton. He's having the best season of his career, and that's not gonna last. So, if any, in my opinion, any of them are gonna kind of fall off, it's gonna be the Bengals.
You don't think it's gonna last?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't see it because, again, they've not really beaten anybody special. They beat Seattle at home, but Seattle isn't the same yet. I'm not willing to.
Hating
to
on
bet.
this
I'm not bailing. I
two-time
am not
defending
bailing on
NFC
Seattle.
champions.
Seattle will come back. Yeah, and they have 2 tough games left. They have a favorable schedule as well. They have the Cardinals and the Broncos away in both.
The Bengals have improved every year they've had Andy Dalton. And this year they've continued to improve by adding a wrinkle in another friend of the show, Tyler Eifert. He is...
You gotta pronounce his name right if he's gonna be a friend of the show.
No, he's not a friend of the show. I lied. But he's great to watch. They're finally working the ball down the middle. He's got over a TD a game. I think 8 and 7 games or 9 and 8 games. I like the Bengals to make the AFC Championship game.
I do not. So we're gonna hung jury on that one. Do we like the Panthers for the number 1 seed in the NFC? Verdict. All right.
I've spoken.
There's some spots that aren't happening, but they're still happening. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't. Baseball.
What is he saying?
Blue Jays. Let's briefly sum up all of this mixed tensions and emotions in one little ball, and I'm gonna fire it at you right now. Okay. What is going on?
Usually it's November. Usually I'm terribly excited for the Blue Jays offseason this time of year. AA always seemed to pull off great, amazing trades that you saw from nowhere. He picked up Donaldson. He had the Marlins trade. Great trades. But with Tony LaCava, I'm tense. I am scared. There's rumors that they could increase the salary, but there's rumors they could decrease the salary. I don't know what's going to happen.
Nobody does. It's like a mystery.
I think the first priority, I think we both agree, is shore up the starting rotation. Would you agree?
They need to do something. Someone's got to pitch. But there's talks that they're going to do that internally for the bullpen.
Give the young arms a chance.
How do you like this? Osuna, Sanchez, or Hendricks being a starter?
May as well throw Loop in there, too.
Yeah, let's just not have any bullpen at all. We have a weak bullpen as it is. You're going to just deplete the bullpen? No, we need starting pitching. The Jays need starting pitching right now. Like Sanchez, he started before. Hendricks is a long guy, but you're not going to start Hendricks in a playoff game?
I think they also need to focus on finding an ace. They weren't a real contender until they got David Price this year. I'd say let David Price walk. Get your fishing rod out. Go after a bigger tuna in the sea.
Greinke.
Time to go after Greinke.
Led
the league in the ERA last year. He's an odd guy. Likes different markets. Doesn't like the big limelight of the Yankees or the Red Sox.
Blue Jays.
It's a possibility.
Fly in.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to hopefully show up Estrada, but I got to be honest, I don't think Estrada's going to sign that 1-year deal.
No.
I don't think it's worthwhile for him. He's 30 years old. You're not going to sign a 1-year deal at 30 years old. It's $15.8 million, but you want long-term because he's going to 31, 32. When is he going to get this long-term deal? You know,
this is his chance.
His changeup's going to turn into his fastball.
Scary times.
So, scary times in Jays Nation, even though we're still favorites to probably take the division next year.
Oh, yeah.
That's the verdict. All right. Favorite time of the week.
It's favorite time of the year. Well, I guess it happens every week. Favorite time of the week. It's my favorite time in life. Modog picks of the week. Maddie, what terrible picks do you have today?
I'm going to go get my motor running with Detroit Pistons. You already talked about them once.
Can't hate on that.
I think that they're playing dynamite right now. And I feel very bad about this. I am upset. Somehow, the Sacramento Kings are a 1-point favorite, which is basically taking the money line, okay, tonight at home against the Pistons. Now, the Pistons are 7-1, unbeaten away from home. The Sacramento Kings have lost 6 in a row. How? How are they favorites?
Something is not adding up right now.
It's not, and I'm going to cash in.
You're going to cash? How much are you going to put on?
I'm going to put as much as I can find in my penny jar.
I'm not allowed to disclose that on.
We are not, but it will be less than 3 pennies. But
wow. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go to football for my first pick of the week. I'm taking the strong arm of Peyton Manning. They're at home to Kansas City. They're 7-point favorites.
They didn't cover last week.
No, they didn't. But I think they are this week. Peyton is 14-1 lifetime against the Chiefs. And I don't see that changing. I think the Broncos D is too strong. I don't see Alex Smith really getting by him.
Chiefs without Jamal Charles are nobody.
You can't rely on Alex Smith. That's my pick.
I'm gonna stay with the gridiron, and I feel bad about this one as well. It's another oversight in my opinion. The Seahawks. How are the Seahawks still favorites against the Cardinals at home? 3-point favorites. And I know you think I'm hating on Seahawks today, but I am not. But there's no way that they should be favorites currently. Cardinals are one of the best teams out there. The Cardinals beat them last time Carson Palmer was playing for them in 2013. They beat them at Questfield. They lost last year. Well, Stanton was throwing the ball. Every team's going to lose at any game when Drew Stanton is your quarterback. Okay? How are they not fair? I mean, I have the Cardinals winning this game right out. The 3 points is a gift. Christmas gift, come early. Take the Cardinals. And see.
We've got another verdict first. I'm supporting your picks this week. This is the first time you haven't made a fool of yourself in the Bodog picks of the week.
They'll probably both lose.
I have an identical final pick with you. I'm taking the Cardinals with 3 points to win in Seattle on Sunday. Wow. I do think this could be the game of the year. I think they're a lot more closely matched than you think.
No,
but giving the Cardinals 3 points, I think you have to do it.
That's it.
That's it. This feels weird to agree with you.
All the time. Get used to it.
That's it.
I make a lot of sense. You just can't hear me most of the time because you're too loud.
I gotta be more quiet, Matt.
And that's all for the verdict this week. The man beside me, who's so big, he's quiet. It's big Andy.
I'm gonna put a hex on you.